Hello class, I hope you are doing well. So let us proceed towards one of the chapter again on your literature, that is The Ant and the Grasshopper. This is by Henry Somerset Maugham. Okay, he was born in the year 1874 and he died in 1965. So he is an English writer whose work is characterized by a clear, lucid, economical and unadorned style, cosmopolitan settings and a shrewd understanding of human nature. Okay, so he became a witty satirist of the post-colonial world and wrote over 30 plays, mainly light satiric comedies. During the First World War, he served with the Red Cross and in the ambulance corps before being recruited in 1916 into the British Secret Intelligence Service, for which he worked in Switzerland and Russia before the October Revolution in 1917. During and after the war, he travelled in India and Southeast Asia. These experiences were reflected in later short stories and novels. So here we had little bit of knowledge about the poet, about the writer, that is Somerset. Okay, so see about this poem, about this story. This is basically a story of brothers, siblings. Okay, so the story is quite lengthy. We will be divided into two portions. Okay, the first will be taught to you today, the next tomorrow. Okay, so let us start. Very beautiful story. So when I was a small boy, so I is here the writer himself, Somerset. Okay, so I was made to learn my heart certain of the fables of La Fontaine, which is the poet. That means when he was very small, he was made to learn lot of books and stories. Okay, then what happens, and the moral of which were carefully explained to me. That means he had a very intellectual kind of lifestyle right from his childhood. That means his childhood was in a very disciplined manner, we can say. That means you can easily predict how the person will be, because right from his childhood he was taught to read books, to read good morals, stories, understood, and having a very good lessons. That kind of parenthood he got. Okay, so among those I learned was The Ant and the Grasshopper. So he learned beautiful stories. Similarly, one of it was The Ant and the Grasshopper that we will be learning. Okay, which is devised to bring home to the young and a useful lesson that in an imperfect world industry is rewarded and giddiness punished. So we can easily understand what do you know about this ant and the grasshopper. Little bit of this I am giving you ant. So ant, what we see it here now. When it is winter season, when it is a very rainy season, what happens? The ant thoroughly collects its food. Okay, that means right from his he is not these ants are not having a very they are not thinking of today only, they think of the tomorrow. Understood? Their tomorrow would be miserable, because rainy season, if they go in search of food, what happens? They will be flushed by the water, right? So that means when the weather is very mild, when the weather is very good, so they collect food and they store it for their difficult upcoming weather, where they will be facing lot of difficulties while going out. Okay, and similarly what we see about the grasshopper is a very lazy kind of insect. Why? Because it doesn't think of tomorrow, it only thinks of today. Today his stomach is full, so tomorrow I will collect anyhow. So there is a contrast between ant and the grasshopper. Later what happens, ant has a very good life. During rainy season also it doesn't need to go here and there to search of food, because the food is already stored. Okay, but here grasshopper is now in a miserable state because he didn't search for the food when it was time, right time. Now rainy season, it is very hard for them to search food. They are not like humans. They cannot just cook and eat. They have to get their food by themselves, right? It's very hard for them. Okay. And most probably what is difficult for them is the climate. The climate, if it is very worse climate, becomes very difficult for them. Okay. That story really hits the mind of Somerset. So he remembers that story very well. Okay. Okay, then he says the ant spends a laborious, summer gathering its winter store, while the grasshopper sits on a blade of grass, sitting to the sun, enjoying. Okay. While the grasshopper sits on a blade of grass singing to the sun, winter comes and the ant is comfortably provided for, but the grasshopper has an empty larder. He goes to the ant and begs for a little food. At the end, what happens? This grasshopper is going and begging food to the ant. The ant gives him her classic answer. That time, the ant will give a very good answer. Yeah, what are you doing in the summertime? Saving your presents. I sang and sang all day, all night. What was the work that the grasshopper did? Was singing only. When it was very high time for them to search food, where these ants were busy searching food, that time this ant was singing, glaring at the sun. This was the work. That means lazy. Okay, lazy bone. You sang. Why? Then go and dance now. Yes, this is the answer what you will be getting, right? They were struggling to find food. Now all of a sudden he comes and asks for food. Will the ant give? No. Yes. I do not ascribe it to be perversity on my part, but rather to the inconsequence of childhood, which is deficient in moral sense, that I could never quite reconcile myself to the lesson. Yes, that time when he was child, so it was very difficult to predict what was the proper lesson of this story. Understood? Very lightly, when the out of scum only, he understood that this grasshopper was lazy, that's why he didn't have food. That much only he understood. But the real meaning is different. Okay, very, very different. My sympathies were with the grasshopper, and for some time I never saw an ant without putting my foot on it. So that time he was sympathizing on whom? Grasshopper, because the grasshopper was hungry. Understood? So in this summary, as I have discovered since entirely human fashion, I sought to express my disapproval of prudence and common sense. So what? Understood, no? So finally, that time when he was a child, he was having full sympathy for the grasshopper, because the grasshopper was now being this hungry. Okay, though the work was not done, when the correct time was there, he was just enjoying. Understood? That was not properly seen by the writer. Okay, he just sympathized on whom? The grasshopper. I could not help thinking of this parable when the other day I saw George Ramsay lunching by himself in a restaurant. So finally we come up to a lesson. Okay, there is a lesson that is coming now. There are two characters, George Ramsay and Tom Ramsay. George Ramsay is the elder brother and Tom is the younger. That means here also we will find ant and the grasshopper. Understood this story? So what happened? Now the story becomes very clear to the author that whom we are to sympathize actually. Understood? So I never saw anyone wear an expression of such deep gloom. That means when he was lunching in a restaurant, he looked very much sad, he looked upset, he looked very worried. Okay, I was staring into space, he was staring into space. Space means he wanted some kind of rest, he wanted some break. Okay, he looked as though the burden of the whole world sat on his shoulders. I think you already understood the condition of George Ramsay. How it looked? He looked that he was very desperate. He looked that he had lot of worries and miseries upon his shoulders. That means everything felt upon him. Okay. I was sorry for him. I suspected at once that his unfortunate brother had been causing trouble again. I went up to him and held out my hand. So who is I? He is the second person. That means a friend of George Ramsay. Okay, who is none other than Somerset himself. So that means he is giving an incident of his life maybe. So what he is telling is he already understood what would be the reason of his sadness. What would be the reason? Reason of his worst brother. Okay, that is Tom, unfortunate brother. Okay, that means he caused something problem. That's why he looked worried. Who looked worried? George. Okay. So what he did, as a friend does, he just held his hand and then he is giving him some kind of condolence. Okay, how are you? I asked. I am not in a hilarious spirit, he answered. Is it Tom again? He sighed. Yes, it's Tom again. I am really very much worried about my brother. Why don't you chalk him? Why don't you have everything in the world for him? You must know by now he is quite hopeless. Why are you always worried about him? Just push him out of house. Tell him to go out of your life. Understood? So it is useless to have him. He is always causing trouble. He cannot even let you stay happy. Understood? He is not doing anything. The whole worry is upon you. He is just enjoying laughing over there and you are sad for him. Just chuck him out. Okay. This is said by his friend. That means the writer. I suppose every family have a black sheep. Tom had been a sore trial to his for 20 years. That means he is thinking that everybody in one house is usually a stubborn kind. Understood? He also believes that he has one that is his own brother. Understood? So since 20 years he has been bearing him. He had begun life decently enough. He went into business, married and had 2 children. So when he started, his life was fine. He had 2 children, he had wife, his business was running well. Now all of a sudden, the Ramsays were perfectly respectable people and there were every reason to suppose that Tom Ramsay would have a useful and honorable career. Yes. So George Ramsay believed that he had a respectable life because he was a lawyer. Okay. And everybody did respect Ramsay's family along with Tom Ramsay. But one day, without warning, he announced that he didn't like work and that he wasn't suited for marriage. All of a sudden, Tom Ramsay comes to me and says that I don't want my marriage life to continue or I don't want to work also. I want to leave everything. Okay. He left his wife and his office also. He had little money and spent 2 happy years in the various capitals of Europe. So what he finally did, he took the money, he went outside 2 years, he enjoyed here living his family to ruin. Okay. Rumors of his doings reached his relations from time to time and they were profoundly shocked. He certainly had a very good time. They shook their heads and asked what would happen when his money was spent. Yes, when somebody, you usually gets to know about a very respectable person, they try to make lot of stories. Similarly, here Tom also, he avoided everything, he just enjoyed. Everybody would make fun of him. He was saying that now he has a lot of money, he is spending it. What will happen once his money gets finished? Okay, there were a lot of stories that were coming up. Okay. I had never met anyone to whom it was more difficult to refuse a loan. He made a steady income from his friends and he had made friends easily. That means one very good quality what Tom had was he was very good in making friendship. Now everybody, if he had no money also, because of his name and fame, he would get money. Okay, because he was one of the Ramsay. So usually people would give him money. Similarly, his brother George, he was different. He believed in hard earning. He was not going and begging anyone. He had a very respectable lifestyle because he's born and brought up in such a way. Okay. So, but he always said that money you spend on necessities were boring. The money that was amusing to spend was the money you spend on luxuries. See, there were 2 different ideologies that were happening between these 2 brothers, though they were siblings, same in blood. Okay, but the logic for life living was different. He believed that we have to save money for our future. Understood? That was the thinking of George. But here Tom was thinking that you're just saving the money, you're so boring. You're saving the money and you're not spending. If you spend money, that means you are spending on luxuries. He was having that feeling. But that was not luxuries. That was a complete waste of money. Understood? For this he depended on his brother George. He did not waste on charm on him. That means till 20 years who was supplying money to him was his elder brother George Ramsay. Okay, George was a serious and a sensible of such incitement. He kept on providing also. He thought that one day definitely he will understand and he will have a good lifestyle. He kept on giving 20 years. Okay. George was respectable. Once or twice he fell to Tom's promises of amendment and gave him considerable sums in order to that he might a fresh start. So I said no, as he is elder brother, he always will have a soft corner for his young brother. So he thought that okay, one day he will definitely understand the value and importance of life as well as the money. So he will definitely start his life in a good way one day. So let me provide, let me help him out if I have. So he is after all my brother. Okay. So on these, Tom brought a motor car and some very nice jewelry, but where circumstances forced George to realize that his brother would never settle down, and he washed his hands of Tom. So finally he brought a car and Tom, that was not for like earning purpose or for source for earning. It was not that. It was for his lavish kind of lifestyle, just to enjoy. Okay. Then Tom understood, George understood that we cannot do anything out of him. Okay. Began to blackmail him. Now brother, this elder brother started to blackmail him. Okay, how he blackmails, see. It's not very nice for a respectable lawyer to find his brother shaking cocktails behind the bars of his favorite restaurant, or to see him waiting on the box seat of a taxi outside his club. He is giving that kind of blackmailing. Will it look nice? Okay, when I will drive a taxi in front of such a respectable lawyer like my brother, okay, so it will look very weird. Or will it look nice when you go for a restaurant to have a food, and that time you see that I am a bartender, I am doing some sort of serving people as well as doing the service at the hotel. It really doesn't look good. I am working in the restaurant, it doesn't look good. Okay, so this is the best way to blackmail his brother. He felt that. Tom said that to serve in a bar or to drive a taxi was a perfectly decent occupation. But if George could oblige him with a couple of £100, he didn't mind for the honor of the family giving it up. George paid. And he is thinking what? Tom is saying that, okay, walking in a bar and a taxi is fine. Understood? He thinks that, okay, I'll be walking in a bar and let people say whatever you feel like, but it is fine. But if you say I will stop it, okay, I will stop. If you give me a couple of £100, I will not walk and I will give another walk. That would be quite good for like respectable job. Okay, so I will be doing that, he says. Okay, and George finally pays. So this is a small bit of the video goes very lengthy if we keep on reading out. So next video will be uploaded, again the continuation of the same chapter, Ant and the Grasshopper. Till then please read it. I've gone line wise, so will not be any problem to you. Okay, and also stay safe. Thank you.